Hi guys, I'm Phill from Australia and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Why are you not getting better at playing the trumpet? It is because you don't set goals. Today is a little bit of a podcast kind of vibe where I'm going to talk about why you're not getting better at the trumpet, and I'm going to use my experience that I'm doing right now so you can see how I'm working through goal setting so you can apply it to your practice and you can start improving your playing rather than going round and round and round and round and round in circles doing the same stuff every single day. What is a goal and how do we set one, right? Well, there's a lot of research out there about what goals are. And the one that I find the most easy to relate to is SMART goals. Now, SMART being an acronym, it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. Okay, now a couple of these are similar, so that's fine. Now, my current goals. Now, I'm going to talk you through some of my current goals, or my current goals, one of my current goals, and I'm going to talk you through my process on how I'm going through it so you can apply it to your practice and your trumpet playing. Now, for me, right, let's talk specific, right? First tab, specific. My specific tab, right, my specific goal is I have an audition for a professional orchestra coming up. So that's my current goal. All right, that's specific. I want to win an orchestral job for this current upcoming audition, right? Measurable. Well, I'm going to be able to measure it by how well I play on the day, right? And how well I play on the day is measured by how accurately I play and how musically I play. So specific is I'm auditioning for a professional orchestra. Measurable, so how do I measure it? How do I know if I've achieved it or not? Is do I play accurately and musically on the day? Attainable, do I think I can realistically win this job? And the answer is yes, I believe I can. And that is the truth. Like, I believe I can win the job. Some other people might not. That's their opinion, right? Is it attainable is my belief, right? So that's what I believe. Is it realistic? Now, this is where I can vary myself a little bit, right? Now, what is realistic? So is it a realistic goal? I think it's a realistic goal. So yes, is it attainable and realistic are very similar. But essentially what I'm kind of in this instance is what am I seeing as realistic is what will I walk away from being happy with if I achieve it. And for me, if I can make it to the second or the third round on this audition, that is realistic for me. Now, I'm still going to believe, right? So going back to attainable, is it attainable? Can I win the job? I'm still going to believe that I can. But I will be happy if I can achieve the second or third round. Then that means that I've played musically and accurately for at least one round. Now, time-based, there is a set date for this audition. So the time is set for me. Now, this doesn't have to be an audition for you guys. You can set your own goals. Now, a lot of my members, they like to work on etudes. I got one member who loves Conconi lyrical studies. So his goals are, he wants to learn, let's say, Conconi lyrical study number 13, right? That's a specific goal. Measurable is when he can play it. He wants to be able to get through the entire etude study, like endurance-wise. He wants to be accurate and he wants to be musical with it. They're usually attainable for this student in particular. Are they realistic? 100%. They are definitely realistic for this player. And time-bound. Now, time-bound is the one thing that I don't know if he's putting into place, but we can work on that with him as well, is setting a date that he wants to be able to achieve it by. Now, that is what setting goals looks like, right? Pretty simple when you think about it. For me, how am I going to achieve this, right? And these are the same tips that I recommend for you to try at home for you to be able to achieve them as well, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do, right, and going to have to keep looking down for my notes, all right, how do we achieve it? The first thing we have to do is research. Right, so now that we've chosen our goal, so for me, I've got an audition coming up. I have 15 to 20 excerpts on my list that I need to learn. Okay. So the first thing I need to do is I need to research them. I need to listen to the music. So I go through hundreds of recordings and I listen to the entire thing, right? And I'm listening to several different recordings of every single excerpt that I'm recording, like that I have to perform, sorry. And so I'm listening to them and finding recordings that I like that resonate with me. And I have to know why they resonate to me. So like, is it the speed that I like? Is it the sound of the player that I like? Is it the way that they phrase something, that sort of thing. So that's what I'm doing when I'm listening. All right. And I usually create a playlist of the excerpts with all the recordings that I like to listen to for the reasons. And they go into a playlist for those excerpts. All right. As I mentioned, I take notes. So I usually have my music that I'm going to perform from, or the excerpts or the music, and I'll listen to the music. And when I've found the one I like, I will notate. Do they articulate something different? Is the dynamic a little bit different? How are they phrasing it? Does the musical line go this way or that way? All of that sort of stuff I am writing down on my page. And the third step for research is I get lessons. So I will find one teacher or several teachers who have done and achieved what I'm trying to achieve. So either in an orchestra or been in an orchestra, so maybe retired from an orchestra. And I will go and see them frequently for advice to help me shape the way that I'm playing things. And lessons are usually the biggest thing that helps me progress. All right. Now, the step 2 is learning the music. All right. So learning the music, there's learning the notes. So learning the notes, I've got to learn how to play it in time. All right. So I'll practice with a metronome to learn it in time and make sure I've got the rhythm right. I've got to play it in tune. So I'll practice with a tuner and make sure that I'm playing my notes in tune, listening as I go and following the tuner if I don't think it's right. And then playing musically, right? So I will practice. Right, obviously, this comes back from listening, but it also comes into singing. So I will sing through phrases of all of my excerpts to try and make sure that I can play them musically without the technical challenges of playing the trumpet itself. And the last step, in learning the music, is I will actually play through these excerpts with the recording that I love listening to, playing as well. So I'll play through the recording and I'll listen to the recording, so I'm getting the feeling like I'm in the orchestra playing it, and as well as I'm playing it with them. So I try to copy what, if I'm doing a section audition, I'll try and copy what the first player is doing like I would in a section if I was actually in the orchestra. And the third tip that I have for learning, all right, for practicing and how I prepare for this, is constantly testing myself. All right. And how do I do that? I make recordings. So I will set myself a date partway through. So I'll go, right, I'm going to learn, let's say I've got 20 excerpts. I'll go, right, I'm going to learn these 4 by a week sort of thing. And then I will record those 4 as a video on that date. So I get the pressure of what it's going to be in the audition. And I have to push myself to play those excerpts as perfectly as I can the first time through. And I will actually record them. Then I will listen to the recordings and I will give myself honest feedback. So, did I play in tune? Did I play in time? Was I musical? Was I able to hear, essentially, was I able to hear what the rest of the orchestra are doing while I'm playing? And I will give myself feedback and I will take notes. Then I will put it away, and then the next time I come back to practice, I will open up my notes when I come to those excerpts, and I will work on those things. And then I will set another recording date and another set of excerpts, and I will do the same thing. Record the excerpts, listen back to my recording, take notes, and rinse and repeat. And I will continuously do this up until the performance date. Now that you've watched this video and you understand the importance of setting goals in your practice, what goals have you set for yourself? If you haven't set any goals, what goals are you going to set for yourself? Leave a comment below so I can hear what you guys are working on and how you're going to achieve them. If you want to follow me and my journey achieving my goals over the next coming weeks, feel free to subscribe so you can stay tuned. I'm going to try and upload a little bit more than once a week over this period so you guys can see inside my head and my practice and my thought process on how to achieve goals and how to improve your playing. As always, I'm Phill from Australia, and happy practicing.